Hi everyone, my name is Alicia Baird and I am going to be showing you some crafts for today as part of our women's retreat. And I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday and I hope you enjoy doing some card crafts with me. Today we're going to make a few cards using one technique using household bleach. And if you're like me and you don't care to do the laundry, this is a great alternative use for that bleach that you might have lying around in your cupboard or in your laundry room. So the things you're going to need today, my goal is to show you some cards that you can make with just things around the house. You don't have to have any specific card supplies, but if you do, you can certainly expand on any of these ideas. But the things you're going to need today are a couple of different color paper. Totally up to you. You can use whatever you might have. That can be cardstock if you have some. If you have construction paper, that will work as well. I've got a couple of different colors. So you're going to need some cardstock. You're going to need a little bit of household bleach. I've got about 2 tablespoons and either some paintbrushes, or I've used Q-tips, whatever you might want to use on your bleach. I like to have a ruler. I have my handy dandy Snoopy ruler that's been with me for many decades. I won't tell you how many decades. Some scissors, double stick tape or adhesive of your choice, and then pens or markers so you can write on your cards once you're done. So the first card that I'm going to show you is, I like to call it, it's this little lace card that you can use for birthdays, just to send a friendly note to a friend, but it's kind of cool because it is easy to make and it has that neat ombre effect, and it's easy to make in less than a couple of minutes. The hardest part of this card is just waiting for the bleach to dry. So to do this card, what you're going to need is a piece of paper for your backing. The one I have is 5.5 inches widthwise and 8 inches long. And when you fold it, it becomes a card, vertical card or a horizontal card, whichever you'd like. So I've got that card, and then I have another piece of paper that is slightly bigger than that folded card. And the reason you want it slightly bigger is we're going to make this tear across the bottom, so you want to have a little bit of room to do that. So to make this card, take your 8-inch by 5.5-inch piece of paper, fold it in half. Step 1, done. Then you're going to take your second piece of paper and you want to kind of line it up, and about halfway or a quarter of the way in, all you need to do is just take this piece of paper and just tear it across. And I kind of like to wiggle it back and forth so I get a fun tear line. So you'll see my little tear line that I've got going across here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my brushes with the bleach and I'm just going to come right across that tear line. And what that's going to do is that's going to take the color out of that bleach as it goes through, and you hopefully can see that it's changing from this purple color to more of a white. And once it dries, it will make this cool kind of ombre effect. Now once you have that paper dry, what you want to do is match it up with your card, trim it down so it lines up, and then use double stick tape or adhesive or whatever kind of adhesive you like. I'm going to use double stick tape because that's what I've got handy. And put it on your card. And voila! One card ready to go. So you can make that tear as deep as you want or as thick as you want, and you can use as much or as little of the bleach as you want to fade out some of that color. And then once you have this card done, you could write on it if you wanted to. So if I wanted to write Happy Mother's Day, I could do that and send that to my mom. So something quick if you're in need of a quick card. Now we're going to use that same bleach technique and we're going to make a different card. And I'm going to actually make it with, pardon my reach here, I'm going to reach for this uh, yellow paper or bright orange paper. And this is actually an Easter card or a Good Friday card that I made. And you'll see that it's looks like it's got this hill that I made with the 3 crosses. And all I needed for this is bleach, a piece of paper, and a marker. So the way I made this card is I just took a real bright piece of paper. What I find with these real bright pieces of paper is the bleach doesn't fade to white. It usually fades to some interesting lighter shades of the paper itself. So I just took this piece of paper, took again my paintbrush with some bleach on it, and I just made a curved line that looked like a hill. And then I came in here and I bleached out all of the area below that curve. And again, the hardest part of this one is just letting it dry. You can see right now as it's going, it's starting to shade to that yellow color. I'm actually going to grab my hot air gun here, or my hot heat gun, and dry it off a little bit so you can see. So that's fading out to a different color. And then once it's completely dry, you can come in here with a marker and draw your 3 crosses. Now, one trick I will tell you that I've made this mistake myself in the past is that if you put any markers or ink on the area that you put the bleach before this bleach is completely dry, it may fade out that marker. So you want to make sure it dries out before you add any embellishments or markers to it. So just a cute little hill with my 3 crosses, so it looks like Gethsemane at sunset on Good Friday or Easter. You can use this in lots of different ways. And there's my finished card. I just cut it down and I again put it on, or I mounted it onto a card stock that was 8 inches by 5.5 and made a little vertical Easter card. The other card that I made is using that same paper. Because I got such a distinctive 2-tone color with it, it's kind of a combination of the first 2 cards we saw. So I'm going to take this piece of paper. I'm again going to tear it. So I've got a nice tear edge across that bottom. And then I'm going to take my bleach and bleach right across that tear. And again, I'm going to let that dry. And once it dries, it forms this cool ombre effect. And you can use this for happy birthday. You can use it for a general card. You can design it any which way. You can make it more bleach to get more of a design, but kind of fun, quick to get a fancy card. And again, I just stuck it on a piece of paper that was 8 inches by 5.5 and then trimmed it down and stuck it with good old double stick tape. So that one's kind of fun. Then the last card I want to show you is if you have some stamps at home, or if you want to freehand this, you can as well. But this bleach technique we can use to make some designs on top of the bleached out area. So let me grab a card here. I'm going to show you this in a couple of steps. So I'm first going to take a card. And this card I've got is a regular old standard piece of paper. So it is 8.5 by 11, and I just folded it in half. And what I'm going to do, and there's no rhyme or reason to this, you can be as neat or as unneat as you want. So I'm taking a paintbrush with bleach on it, and I'm going to make about 4 circles on my piece of paper. And these are a little bigger than quarter size. So I actually brought a quarter so you can see they're a little bigger than quarter size on there, almost silver dollar size. So I'm going to put that aside, let it dry. And when it dries, it looks like this. So it basically takes that bleach, takes that color out of it. Now what I am going to do is I happen to have this fun stamp that's a kind of a swirl flower. And once this ink is completely, or the bleach is completely dry, I'm going to take my stamp and some coordinating ink. I like this purple color with the green. And I am going to put some ink on my stamp, and I'm going to come right over it and make it for kind of a two-tone stamp effect right over that bleached out area. So it has kind of a fun design, gives it a little dimension. So if you don't have more than one stamp pad, you can do this as well. You can also freestyle this as well. So let's say you don't have a stamp pad, but you want to make a circle on any color of paper that you have. I've got a darker one and a lighter one. You can actually come in here with a good old marker, and you could just design like a flower over top of it. I always think this one looks kind of like a pansy when you get it done, and then you can cut it out. If you want, you can do the same thing with this. This is just a circle that I took bleach, made a big circle. Once it's dry, I can come in here and I can draw on top of it. And if you wanted to put this on a card, I'm not the world's best flower drawer here, freestyle. Some of you might be more artistic than I am. But once you get it done, you can take your scissors and you can trim it out right around the outside. You could use, if you have some different designed scissors or scissors that cut in a pattern, you could do that as well. And then you can just put it on your card. Makes a little something different for your card also. Or you could stick them behind, whatever you'd like to do. Use your imagination however you'd like that. And then with that other technique, when I did the bleach with the stamp over top of it, I did one ahead of time. I could actually take this and mount it onto a piece of paper as well. So you could have kind of a two-layered card also. Well, I hope you had some fun and I gave you some ideas. Please feel free to experiment, or if you have some cards that you've done as part of this demonstration, please feel free to send us a copy or a photo of your photo of your finished product. We'd love to see it. So hope you enjoy the rest of the conference, and we'll see you soon.